Okay. So, talking about trends, we know trends come and go. People like things, they don't like things, but it's funny how some things really kind of make people crazy, like really don't like something.
Yeah.
And so I saw this list and I thought this would be interesting because we'll put up some of the pictures as these things that we talk about. Things that really look cool and you think, oh, this would be nice for me to do in my home. There's a difference in doing it nice for your home and your own personal use versus, hey, I'm going to sell my house. What do I need to do for it? So
Yeah.
I think there's always a little caveat there. But I wanted to get your impression on some of these things, and you can see what people are talking about with things that make them way crazy about. So the first thing is talking about open shelving in the kitchen. Like only open shelving as their cupboard stash or whatever you can see in the picture. It's just
So I've seen where it looks really good if it's like a downtown contemporary loft or kind of that farmhouse, feel. But for me, no. 2 reasons. I have too much shit and the dust. Can you imagine
Yes.
dusting all of your plates and cups every day?
before you use it, you would have to dust it off, right?
Right. And then when you go in, like I have kids' stuff that's kind of like shoved in a shelf and then the door shuts real fast. And then like I'm not the one to open it the next day. So watch out. Flying bowls.
Danger.
Yeah. But you can't do that with
You
that.
can't. Yes.
So you would have to have some kind of pantry or something to hide some of the just obnoxious
Yes.
stuff that is hidden by traditional cabinets now.
And they actually bring this up a couple of times because somebody's talking about like glass doors on their cabinets.
No, and glass garage doors. WTF? Nobody wants to see your boxes.
Well, I think of it as like a real security risk for that garage door because it's easy to see that there isn't a car in there. So now you know that nobody is there or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a fan
And
of the glass.
I'm not talking about the ones that have the
Little peephole types.
yeah, like at the top.
Yeah.
You know, nobody is that tall. I'm talking about the ones that's like all the way down. in
Remember
a
that
row.
house we saw where that was a whole glass door?
Yeah, and it looked like one of the doors like on a brewery.
Yeah.
Or something, you know, that so they can sit outside and inside.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, in that case, I think because it was a high market house or whatever, I think they were doing it because their car was a showpiece. But this is not
A showpiece to the people that are coming in to GTA it.
This is also not your car dealership, right?
Right.
There's a reason why you just don't want that all out there.
That's why in California, all of their garages are like in the basement. And there's like 15 different cars down there. And it looks like the bottom of like a garage here. Like
Parking garage.
Parking garage here.
Yeah, yeah. I know. It's crazy stuff what people are doing. But
Yeah, I feel like most storage needs to just be out
not
of sight,
seen.
out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind. I
Yeah.
agree. The other thing, and we saw this when we went through our house tours, about the huge lights that they have, really nice decorative lights, but they're talking about those Edison-style light bulbs.
Oh, I like this.
They're talking about how bright it is. So I don't know where they went that the Edison lights were so bright, but I mean,
Yeah, I haven't really seen that, but I will tell you, have you seen those garage lights that, you know, there's like 4 or 5 different arms on them, and those are like bright?
yes.
So we just redid all of the lighting at my dad's shop, and it is so bright in there. The workers are asking for hats now. Because like now they can see to work, but like it's hurting their eyes, so
Yeah,
they need
it's a lot.
hats. Yeah.
I know we did the office change at the office. We changed our overhead lighting from those fluorescent bulbs. We put in actual LED lights in the conference room. I had somebody who was there who was having a migraine, and I'm like, "Do you need me to turn the lights off?" Because the light was so bright. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"You don't realize it when that's your norm and you're in it,
Yeah.
but somebody coming in and then being blown out by the light bulb, I
Right.
guess."
So I actually, when I worked in an office, we unscrewed like every other light just because it was a lot better. And then I had a desk lamp.
Yes.
So, I mean, I could still see and I wasn't sitting in the dark, but I feel like, you know, we just have so much light coming at us between our phone and our computer screen and, you know, constantly 24/7 that I think a little bit dimmer lights is good.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Microwaves built into the lower cabinets.
I like it. So I do not like, even though it is in my kitchen, the microwave above the range. Or I guess above the stove, right?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
the range. Okay. I like the more decorative vents.
Okay.
And then just put your microwave somewhere else. Like now I also see that the microwave, instead of just being built into a lower cabinet, is like in a pantry or in a butler's pantry. And I like that too.
I think I like the idea of the butler pantry. Their complaint here is that I am having to constantly dip down, and I have smaller kids, and invariably smaller kids are just, it's a toy at that point. They're going to pop something in there. You know you're going to have something exploding at some
True.
point. So depending on what you have going on in your household, that location of where those items are, you know, I like the idea of having an appliance garage, they were called.
Oh, yeah. Where the back goes up and down. I think
Yes.
that is so cool.
I mean, I think function is way important, especially in the kitchen.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another big trend that we're seeing are these, what they're calling shower rooms, where the bathtub is enclosed inside of the shower.
Yes. I do like that.
You like it
Yes. When it is a huge shower.
when it's huge, but are you seeing that tub against the wall where it's difficult to maybe clean? Because that seems to be the ongoing
We just
issue.
pay somebody to clean it. Who's really cleaning those big tubs anyway? Everybody that I've ever seen that has one of those big 1990s style tubs, it's got a layer of dust. Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They clean it, then they get in it, and then they don't use it again until, time to clean it and get in it again months
Right.
later.
Well, I think, and in this case, they have the actual picture where it's all glass. That glass enclosure is another point of contention for people. They're like, no way. Why would you have that? Like, you have multiple people who may be in the family, and you have nothing. And I'm like, first of all,
The glass enclosure of a shower?
like your glass, if you had glass doors for your shower, nobody's coming into my room, which is where my bathroom is, where I have a
Right.
glass door.
So I'm kind of the opposite. Like, when they don't have a door, it's cold.
Yes, it's cold. Or you keep fighting with the shower curtain because of the wind draft coming in there.
Yes. And especially the showers that just have the little lip on it and then a shower curtain.
Yes.
You might as well just flood your bathroom every single time.
Well, I just told my son, I said, 2 things for my next house. I am not going to have closet doors, and I want a glass shower door. And he's looking at me. So I watched this really scary serial killer show, and it's like, that is where they hide, people. They hide in the closets, and nobody thinks to open their closet door to find out. I don't know how they don't squeak or make noise when they open it. Or they hide in the freaking shower. And
So-
it's like the worst nightmare.
Yeah. So back to the storage of number 1, you have to have doors on your closet. Nobody wants to see all of the mess that you shoved in the
Oh
closet.
my
So we
gosh.
actually just went through this in my son's room. It's a really tall closet. So since the house was built in 2008, they have never put doors on here. No, that was the first thing I bought. I bought doors, and then I had them put on. They're like a barn style door, an accordion barn style door, but still, nobody wants to see all of his clothes hung up and his hamper.
Who's going in
and
the
all of that
bedroom?
stuff. Well, the kids play, and when we have people over. And
So barn doors is another thing that's on here. A lot of people are like, get rid of it.
not the ones that slide. Those are obnoxious. But I have accordion barn doors, and I love those.
Okay. All right. We know about this one, putting laundry or laundry closets in the kitchen. We have whole subdivisions that was the thing when they built the houses,
Literally
that the
every
laundry was
Huber
there.
home in this area.
And Kettering. Yeah.
And yeah, well, the Huber home is who built
Yeah,
them, right?
yeah.
Okay, so I do not like it. I get it from a builder point, like there's all the water right there, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in there like cooking, smelling,
Laundry.
snuggle.
Well, and somebody's like, who ever thought of that, where like dirty clothes coming into your kitchen that's supposed to be clean and you're doing food prep?
Yeah.
Such a bad idea.
I have talked to friends that were looking for houses and they wouldn't even look at one that had the washer and dryer in their kitchen.
Yes.
And like in New York City, a lot of the apartments have, if they have an in-unit washer and dryer, is in the kitchen.
That's right.
So I don't think it's just local to this area.
No, it's not. Which takes me back to one of the houses that I toured this weekend, and I thought of you because it had the primary bedroom was off to one side of the home, and before you got there, you're kind of in this private hallway, and then you see the laundry room, and then it went into their closet. So they
Perfect.
had closet access from the laundry room for the primary bedroom, but also from the bedroom into the closet.
I love when the washer and dryer is like located in a good area that is convenient to the closets.
Yeah.
Right now in my house, my laundry is all the way on the opposite end of every single bedroom. So like every day I have to lug everything all the way across the house. And if it was like right next to my closet, I think I'd be better at doing laundry.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to tell myself that.
Yeah. Well, and so in the old style homes where they had, or even some new homes where they had the laundry chute, and the chute would
yeah.
take it to an area. That's easy.
But it was in the basement.
It's
And
usually
it
in the
doesn't
basement.
Shoot up.
It
just
doesn't
shoots
shoot up.
down. So you have to lug it upstairs.
But I did see this house design where they used, you know how you have those, what do they call them? Butler elevator. So little
yeah.
mini elevators that you could, what they did two purposes. One, they had it in the garage, and it would go up to the kitchen area for access for unloading your groceries. So you're not having to carry them up the first level. And then they had another one where it went from the bathroom area, whatever, for laundry down, and then would go back up so that you wouldn't have. So
that's
that was a
nice.
multi-level home where they designed use of those little, they used to be called Butler elevators or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's a really great use of those.
Yeah. I also like in garages where they have the little mini door and you open it and you put all your groceries in there and then it turns out it's like right in the
Into the kitchen.
pantry or the kitchen.
Yeah,
I
that's a
like
good
that too.
idea. All right. A lot of people don't like the two-toned kitchens where top cabinets are one color, lower cabinets are another.
It has to be like tastefully done.
I don't know that people understand that.
Yeah.
Like when it's such a contrast of it, it's very hard. It's very unusual.
And it has to be light up top and dark at the bottom,
Yeah.
or it makes your whole just vibe of your kitchen off for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. They talk about these immediately decorating your home in order to please the next potential buyer. So a lot of people, I know I have some friends who are realtors who, when they do a listing appointment, they're like, well, you have to paint everything white. I don't necessarily agree with that. I understand how that does add to maybe making the space feel larger, making it feel brighter, newer, fresher, cleaner. But I understand from the perspective of I'm living here. I don't want to live in an all white house.
Right. When it's for a listing appointment, I feel like the new people are going to come in and paint how they want to anyway.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter if you make it all white or you don't.
Right.
I mean, I have personal experience with painting an entire house right as you're listing it.
No, not you.
Yeah. But
Let's clarify. It wasn't your choice to do that.
no, but I painted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. That's a sore subject.
And I think they ended up painting it again anyway. Just saying. Big one is no trees. You know, new developments come in, they raise the land, they get it all leveled out and everything. They've taken out any mature trees and there's nothing. And then it takes homeowners. I mean, first of all, the trees are not cheap if you're putting them in there.
Yeah.
And then it takes so many years for them to grow up to be beneficial. One of the things I love about the house where we are is that we've got all these nice, brilliant trees.
So that was one of the things that Mike really wanted, was like grown trees around and a development that wasn't brand new like that because of the trees. But he also didn't like the trees that hang over. So everything is shaded,
Right.
and it's like mossy and moldy all the time.
Right.
There's a couple neighborhoods in this area that it's that way, and you can't even grow grass.
You're right.
You might as well just put dirt down.
Or, yeah, something else.
Yeah. I also think that landscaping in general is kind of a culture thing, and there are certain cultures that don't want to deal with it, and then there are certain cultures that want to do a lot of it.
Right.
And I kind of tend to be in the middle. I don't think either way. You know, like there was this house that I saw that they literally planted a tree that's going to be big eventually every 3 feet in their entire front yard. And now you can't see when you're like pulling out
Right.
around the corner. So but it just looks not kept up. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we had a house before where prior owners, whenever it was developed even, they had planted those big, almost like the box hedge shrubs on the corner. It was a corner lot, and these were massive. And I'm like, first of all, it's a danger for me every time I'm pulling out on my driveway. Second of all, it's a danger for anybody who's stopping at that stop sign to make a turn. And it's my kids who may be crossing the road or in the yard or something like that, to where, first thing we did was yank them.
Yeah.
Get them out, because that is not a safe. And I'm like, why? Like, of all the things that the city requires you to maintain setbacks and do all this stuff, it absolutely amazes me that there is not a requirement for these types of shrubbery to be set back from any of that access for street line.
Yeah.
It just makes me crazy.
So back to, you said when the developers come in and kind of, clear the land, there's a development they got approved last night that's going to go behind my home and into like 16 acres of woods right now. And the township trustees made one of the conditions that they want him to keep as many of the trees as he can.
Oh, wow.
No quantitative requirement.
No,
so he could remove them all and...
Say, oh, couldn't keep them.
Exactly.
Didn't fit for the plan.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to build something else there.
Right.
Or they were having some disease output or something like that. There's all kind, like you said.
Yeah. But there's actually, so Greene County trees, this is a total side topic. There are bats that live in these trees that are protected, so you can't do anything with these trees.
Especially in the month of August.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Bats are protected in our area in the month of August because that is their mating season. So even if you get a bat in your house, or you have bats in the garage, if you have a bat anywhere, you can't do anything to get rid of them. They're protected.
Wow. Why
Crazy.
do we protect dumb animals like the geese that poop everywhere and eat your grass?
I think that's a totally different podcast for conversation to have.
Right.
Okay, I thought this was kind of cool. Going back to, like, really depends. If you're in an industrial style loft or something like that, that staggered brick, anything like that that's rustic looking is so cool.
Yeah.
But they're specifically talking about how horrible an idea that is to have it as your backsplash in your kitchen.
Oh, I could see where you can get it clean.
You can't clean it. Even certain tiles that some people choose as their backsplash. If you're talking about an area where you have food prep or water or anything like that, if you can't clean it, it's going to get gross.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be nasty. So definitely you want to think about that functional use of what you are looking to design or change, and does it really work for what the real intent is? So I think that was the biggest gripe that people had, is that it just doesn't make sense for what we're supposed to be doing. And there's the other one that they talk about, those
So I think that's cool.
pot fillers.
Yes, but I also think that that's cool if you have a little space for where your dog eats and you just put it right above the dog bowl.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And I've heard, like, the complaint is you have to take the pot back over to the sink anyway, so why don't you just do it? And then, like, builders who have put those in, they're like, they're never used. I think they're cool.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much you're cooking in the kitchen, and if you're doing big pots of spaghetti or, boils or anything like that where you would use it. Yeah, you're still going to move the food off of the stove, but you would be doing that regardless. So
Yeah.
saves one step. Again, if you're a chef and you cook a lot, you're going to have different needs than somebody who doesn't really go in there except for the microwave stuff. So,
Right.
let's see. Monster houses on tiny lots. I know there's always a big concern about how big of the lot is. How close is my house to the next door neighbor house? In some of our communities, that could be very tight. Like, I can hand you the sugar from one window to the next.
Yeah.
And in others, I have to get out and walk, maybe even get in my car to get to my neighbor. So, I mean, it just depends on where you are. But
Yeah, I like the more room.
the more space,
That way they
right?
can't see in my windows.
Deck railings. This one I thought you would enjoy, because they're talking about who in the world did horizontal balusters.
That's in right now.
I know, but their point is, like, kids forgot how to climb. Like, anybody's going to climb on that. It's just going to be a climbing opportunity.
Right. So we actually have a builder who is building his own house right now, and they decided to do vertical for that reason. And then, vertical is more money than a horizontal, actually.
Oh.
And they were like, oh, well, we would have just done horizontal had we known that. Like, I don't think that, what, are you not watching your kids?
Right.
Just letting them feral out there?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Somebody's against having to walk through the bathroom in order to get to the closet. This is only if you live by
That's
yourself.
like in my house. You have to walk through the bathroom in my main bedroom. It's called a main bedroom, right?
Primary, yeah.
It used to be called a master, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But it changed.
proper language, whatever. It's a lot of people still call it the master bedroom, the main bedroom of the house.
Yeah.
Like mom and dad, or it's mine because I pay the bills.
Right. So when my aunt had a house in Miamisburg, it was older, and you had to walk through her bedroom, went into the bathroom, went into another bedroom, and that was the only way to get to that back bedroom. It wasn't a
wow.
closet.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like an older.
So normally
1910-ish
you would set
house.
that up as like the nursery.
That's
so
how it
that
was.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the children would be in there and you could still get to them and have them still sleeping in their bed and not being in yours. But
Right.
okay, so then small garages. Vehicles are wider than ever these days, and homeowner associations don't like outside parking. Most new garages won't accommodate a full-size vehicle. I think especially if you start talking about those big, like
Like a Suburban or
Yeah.
something. So I have a 3-car garage, and we fit 2 cars in there. I don't know how like traditional 2-car garages fit 2 SUVs.
Yeah,
You couldn't get out.
yeah.
You'd have to like offload and then pull into your garage.
Mike needs to drive the clown car. A little Prius, huh? I don't think that's going to happen, right?
Maybe a Tesla. Those are cool. Not a Prius.
All right. Well, that is a few of the things that we talk about. So again, I think it all comes down to what works for you, what you're going to enjoy. That's what you need to worry about. Don't worry about the trend, if it's in or not. If it works for you, that's what matters.
So one of the trends that I think that has come back in, where everything was white, white kitchens, white countertops, white walls. Now everything is like black.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be hard as hell to get off.
Yeah.
When it switches back to white
Yep.
or beige or, whatever. Although I do love the black.
You like the look of it?
Yes.
That is because the last thing I saw, they were talking about all of the interior doors, panel doors, are being painted black,
Yeah.
and then the trim. When you have like that old style home that has actual real wood molding and trim and doors and everything like that, and somebody over the years has painted, it went from red to green to white to black to whatever. Like there's
Yeah.
layers and layers of on there, and then you come in and you're like, wonder if there's real wood under there, and you start scraping it, and that is a ton of work to get all those layers of paint off,
Yeah.
and then the wood is actually still there. But black is a hard color to paint over, so it will be like primering it several times, and then
Especially like when you have the depressed teenager who's like, I want my whole bedroom black. And then they like grow up and then they're like, "Ugh, can't get this covered up. So I think that's also like what HGTV show you watch. So there is a show out right now with one of the girls from Teen Mom. And she's from like South Dakota. And so everything is like black, country, western, and golds. And I really like her style. Where, previously you watch like Chip and Joanna Gaines and everything was like rustic farmhouse.
Yeah.
Where it was white and like the wood color,
The other thing they talked about is the farmhouse kitchen sinks, and I didn't realize this, that
Yeah.
they're flat bottom.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for them to drain or something, they were saying. Like
Oh,
it's,
I like them though.
again,
But a kitchen sink is a point of contention in my house because, okay, so you have like 2. What do you use the left one for?
well, in mine, because I just redid my kitchen, so I got a really nice sink, and it's the left side is my bigger side, and my right side is the smaller side where my garbage disposal is. I actually flipped my garbage disposal, so it could be on the right smaller side, not as much junk, and then dishes get stored here until they go into the dishwasher or whatever.
So Mike likes to put the drying rack over the left side with nothing in it.
Oh yeah.
And then you just stack all the dishes up on the counter. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
or stacks them in like the part where you would come in and wash your hands or fill a pot or whatever. And I'm like, can you just move this, please? Because I need somewhere to wash my hands.
And
yesterday I was patching holes and I had, the plaster or whatever all over my hands. I just needed to wash it. So I couldn't like move the pots
stuff
and 6 cups out.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we talked about all of this in 5 years, it would be totally different.
Absolutely. And the trends will be different. Like we'll be talking about something so weird. Like we're not talking about shag carpet because we know that is a no-no
in the bathroom.
for
That's the
everybody.
dumbest trend I've ever heard.
That I think that is the worst trend ever.
Right.
No holds barred as to any point.
Yes.
Shag carpet in the bathroom.
I'm glad we agree on that. So our tip to end this show is do not put carpet in your bathroom. Thank you. Have a good week, guys. Thanks for listening.
We want to wish you a very happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, all the things that are going on right now, and just hopefully that you find health, happiness, and love, prosperity, all the things, right?
Yeah, thanks for watching this year when we launched, and we will see you next year in 2025.
Thanks for joining us today on the Realty Podcast. If you enjoyed the knowledge and entertainment today, please subscribe and share with your friends. We will be embarking on a journey that bridges the gap between realtors and clients, uncovering the heart and tea of real estate.